Today we're going to be comparing three lenses, and the third one is right here. So we're going to be comparing the Panasonic Micro Four Thirds 20mm f1.7 versus the Panasonic 12-60 kit lens. This is the f3.5, and then finally we're going to be this is a different focal length, but it's going to be the 25 f1.7 Panasonic lens. Now all these lenses are for the Micro Four Thirds system, and right now I'm filming with the Panasonic G85 camera, and currently right now you can't see it, but I'm using the 20mm f1.7 lens. And throughout this comparison, we're going to be actually just looking at video, not still images. There's actually a lot of content, a lot of YouTube videos that compare still images, but I'd like to actually compare just on video. So I'll be filming at 4K 24 frames per second. So throughout these video samples, I'm going to try my best to keep everything consistent. The same lighting, the same distance from the camera. The only exception is that this 25mm lens is obviously a longer lens, has a longer focal length, and this kit lens has a much slower speed. And the fastest it can go is f3.5. So I know these are all different lenses, but we'll try our best to do a comparison between all of them and see which has the best picture quality and the best sharpness. I suspect that this will have the worst picture quality because it's a zoom kit lens, it's not a prime lens, and it's relatively cheap. And this one here is also a pretty cheap prime lens. It's not as expensive as the one that I'm currently filming with. The 20mm f1.7 I suspect will have the sharpest, best picture quality. So let's find out in this video. Let's show some tests.
So the battle between the two prime lens, the 20mm versus the 25mm, is going to be the most important test you're going to observe. Frankly speaking, after seeing this comparison, you can stop watching this video because all the other differences are very negligible. By the way, for these comparisons, to fully assess the sharpness of these two lenses, I'd probably have to go out and take a video of a very textured brick wall. But I don't have the time for that. I'll just be using my face. I know it's not the best subject and doesn't count for the sharpness beyond the center of the frame, but the talking head is my most common frame.
Okay, so this is the first test using the Pancake lens. This is the 20mm f1.7. It's currently focused on my eye, hopefully, and I have it set to f1.7. Okay, so now this is the test using the Panasonic 25 f1.7, and currently the aperture is set to f1.7.
Now in regards to the 25mm focal length, I do like the more compressed look of it. Obviously, a longer focal length is going to be more flattering to the human subject. However, the 20mm focal length is not bad for portraits. At f1.7, it's clear that the 20mm is a lot more sharp than the 25mm, and it also has a lot better colors and contrast. Using the 25mm wide open at f1.7 was not a fun experience. Looking back at my old videos, such as the review of the Fitbit Charge 3, I cannot believe how unsharp the video quality is. No matter how much I try to focus on the subject, I could not get a sharp image. It's really bad. By moving the aperture higher to f2.8, it lets in less light, but it also increases the depth of field. This is where the 25mm and the 20mm look rather sharp both together. It's very hard to tell the difference between the two lenses. Instead of comparing both the primes, let's compare the 20mm prime lens with the kit lens.
Okay, and this is the third sample using the 20mm Pancake lens. Currently the aperture is set to 4, and I had to bump the ISO to 800. I'm actually using the kit lens. This is the 12-60 f3.5. I'm actually set to around 20mm in comparison to the other 20mm lens, and the aperture is set to 4.1. Now unfortunately I can't go any lower than that. So this is a pretty slow lens, doesn't allow a lot of light to go in. We're trying to give a comparison here. It might be difficult to compare this between all the other lenses, but I've at least normalized the distance I am from the lens, and I've also set the ISO to 800 in this case. So this gives you a direct comparison against the other lens, the 20mm version.
Here, it's very hard to tell the difference between the kit lens and the 20mm prime lens. Now this is shot at f4, so you're going to need a very bright situation in order to get the same results. I would say in conclusion that the kit lens does very well in a bright situation. However, obviously if you want to shoot in low light situations, you'll definitely want to have a prime lens. Here we increase the aperture to f5, which makes it even darker. But the color and the contrast between the two lenses is still very comparable, and same with the sharpness. They both look very sharp. I'm surprised the kit lens is performing so well. Now we're comparing the kit lens with the 25mm prime lens, and you can tell they're both very sharp, especially at f5. You could argue that the kit lens has better contrast, although this is very subjective. At higher apertures, I was very impressed with the performance of the kit lens and even the 25mm lens. But in situations when you want to shoot wide open at f1.7 to overcome low light situations and to get that blurry bokeh background effect, I definitely think the 20mm f1.7 is the best prime lens to get. But if you're going to be shooting outdoors a lot or in bright situations, maybe it's not worth getting a prime lens. Maybe you can just stick with your kit lens and it's going to perform very well in terms of its sharpness and colors.
So guys, what do you think is the better quality lens? Which one is sharper? I personally prefer the 20mm f1.7 only because it has a much cooler design. It's a Pancake lens, so it's really portable, it's really easy to use, and I find that focal length pretty good in terms of all-around range. It's pretty wide, but it can also get pretty tight. So I'm really curious, let me know down below in the comments which one has the sharper image. And thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, it really helps out the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.